That was just an incredibly fun night at the ballpark yesterday for everyone who was there, and I hope there's even more tonight and for the rest of this homestand. That was a really fun win. You had Julio's catch, Randy's home run, the good minute and a half of Randy rounding the bases afterwards and stopping at first and third and everything that kind of went along with that. You had the Naylor home run. It just ultimately a brash, just embarrassing people in the eighth inning. That was a pretty fun win that really showed off what these Mariners can be. In addition to the 5 shutout innings from the bullpen, that's a nice win for them actually yesterday, and it's another series win, 2 in a row, 4 games in a row.
Yep, a lot of ingredients went in that one. Some terrific defense. Naylor diving around the field, nice some great plays early. You mentioned Julio. Was that Julio's toughest catch here? I know they love to measure all these things of how far he traveled, at what speed he traveled, the percentage chances that anybody's going to catch that ball. All I know is that
probably not only because he didn't have to lay out for it, but other than that, I mean, that was one heck of a catch. He went a long way.
Now, you didn't get starting pitching, right? George did not have command, and thankfully did not give up more than a couple runs there early.
But you
got
made
out
up
of
for
a couple
that,
jams,
and maybe that's what kind of made it fun. Is that you had to dig a little deeper than you might normally. That's a heck of a vibe last night. And I think that was part of it also. Like we were asking Jeff yesterday, why are the Mariners? Why have they been so good at home, so bad on the road? No one knows. There is no real answer to it. But they do have a pretty good vibe at home. There is some cool connection between this group and the fans. And Josh Naylor's only been here for a little while. Sure seems to love it.
I mean, the fans here are awesome. Even Contreras at first, he's like, oh, how's it going? But we just had a quick little conversation. He goes, man, this place is electric. And I'm like, yeah, it honestly really is. The fans get so excited. They get pumped up in big moments. It's kind of unexplainable. It's super cool to be a part of. Sometimes you kind of feel like the ground's shaking a bit because it's so loud. Sometimes you can't hear your own thoughts because it's so loud. And that's what you want. That's what you want to play in. I'm very, very grateful. I'm very thankful for this fan base. They're super awesome, super cool. It's been awesome so far.
This guy's just the best, man. It's like the play made at first was awesome.
I think he gets up angry. I think he gets up angry from it.
It's not the craziest thing he said yesterday. I played this earlier, Brock. You're not gonna believe me when I play this for you. You're gonna be like, no, that's not true. So I'm telling you, I'm gonna play you the sound, and you're gonna be like, nope, didn't happen. But it did. It's true. And Lyle found the evidence of this. Yeah, somebody faked the signature. I don't know what it is. So here you go. This was what Josh Naylor said about the catch that Julio made yesterday. Okay. When I play this for you, you'll be like, no, not true. But it is. Listen to this.
Yeah, he's an awesome player. Fans love him here. Man, it's awesome to see. Honestly, with that catch, once it was hit, I didn't even look. I just walked into the dugout because I just trusted that he was going to get it.
Lyle proved it. He went and found the video, and you can see, said at the corner of the screen, Naylor turning around before the ball was caught. That's unbelievable.
So good.
That is crazy that he had that level of confidence in the moment. I'm glad it worked out because obviously if it had gotten by him or whatever, he ends up looking bad. But how about that? He was being serious. He's not even lying about that. And if he's not lying about that, then I assume he's also not lying about how much he likes Seattle and how happy he is to be here.
Obviously, free agency can get crazy, and money has a lot to do with it, but that sounds like a guy who wants to be here long term.
Oh, here's more.
I mean, I feel comfortable everywhere, to be honest, but I really enjoy playing here. Coming here as an opponent, I thought it was a super cool stadium. The fans were always electric. And I think I don't know, I think you see well here, personally. I like the roof open. Roof flow is cool, but I love the feeling of the roof open, and I don't know, I enjoy playing here.
Do you think that's some sort of manifestation like the witch?
We enjoy having you, Mr. Naylor. We enjoy having you here. You know what? In both of those cuts, I think what it is, he used the word electric, and it is, and it can be. And certainly, I mean, if that Cardinals player felt that last night, where it was a good sized crowd, but when there's 40,000 or 45,000 in there, whatever then is beyond electric. And I think at the core of that, and I'll speak for Lyle and myself in particular, is lifelong born and bred Mariners fans. There is just a thirstiness. There's a thirst for doing this, wanting this so badly as a fan base, right, to do things that have not yet been done in this organization. And I think players do feel that. I think Good Vibes has felt that. And when they got to taste it, right, and he got to be a part of them breaking that playoff drought, and all the goodwill that created, and all the affinity the fans had for so many of them, including Eugenio. Like, you got a chance, Salk. You said this to me the first time the Seahawks made their run to the Super Bowl. You remember saying it to me?
There's never anything quite like the first.
This was when you were on your sabbatical, right? Maybe a little jelly from afar.
Sure.
The Seahawks go all the way and ultimately win the sucker. And you're like, there's just nothing like that first mountaintop. Tried to climb it the second year and got so close to planting that flag. And, yep, that was a pretty well-documented set of circumstances after the fact. But, man, there is a thirst in this fan base. And they keep doing this, and they keep clawing, and they're one game back, and they win this West, and they host that playoff game here.
Randy Arozarena, Julio Rodriguez, Victor Robles. It's an interesting trio. Just a lot of energy between those three guys, all kind of bouncing off each other in unique ways. It does seem, though, and I know this was the way the whole thing was designed this year, we haven't really gotten to see that outfield together as often as we were supposed to this year because of the long injury to Robles. But it does feel like those guys find a way to feed off each other and bring the best out of each other. And maybe most specifically is what they've done for Randy. I mean, the one thing we knew about Randy Arozarena coming into this year, or coming into him coming here, was that I think the word most often associated with him was mercurial. Not that he was a bad guy. I don't think anybody ever said, hey, Randy Arozarena's a jerk. He's a bad dude. He's a clubhouse cancer. No one said that. Just a little mercurial, hard to figure out, curious, like who is this guy? He can maybe be one way at some times and another way other times. Why is he so quiet off the field but so loud after a home run? Like, just a little hard to figure out. And from all the digging I've done, and Shannon or Davish or Adam, Daniel Kramer could probably tell you a little bit more than this, but my understanding is the other guys really spent some time talking to Randy and trying to understand him and trying to learn about who he was and trying to relate to him. And I don't know whether, I'm sure the Spanish element of it helps. Both Victor and Julio do an incredible job of speaking in two languages, and I think that's probably a big help for someone like Randy to use them and their Spanish-speaking ability, and also their ability to maybe help him relate to the rest of the team. But we heard the story of the three of them holding each other accountable at the beginning of the year, that they were going to get prepped for every single at-bat and, when they were on defense, and get in ready position and hold each other accountable for it. And because of it, Randy's defense has gotten a whole lot better. It just feels like that trio together has, I don't know, maybe helped when they've all been together, helped all three of them. This is what Julio said yesterday about Randy.
Yeah, I just feel like, we embrace him. We embrace him in the way that he is, and I just feel like he has a big personality, and I feel like we just embrace him, allow him to be himself, and, give him freedom, because everybody's different, and, he definitely loves it here, and every time, since he got here, he have been doing his best, and, creating relationships, and, just playing hard, every single day, so that's something that, he really likes to hear.
Were you good in chemistry, Salk?
I was not.
You were not good at
It's
chemistry?
maybe the worst I was ever at in any subject I ever took.
Chemistry is such a remarkable, on a team, on a sports team, on a hockey club, Salk, on a radio show, on a high school football team. Like, chemistry and how you define it is, and how it comes about is like an amazing story. It really is. And it's easier to do in the rear view mirror than it is at any point in the windshield. Right, as you're kind of going about it, but you can then look back at it in the rear view especially and go, wow, that was truly a special group. The closest team I ever played on, I've told you this before, was also the best team. That was one step short of a Super Bowl. And had we got to the Super Bowl, we probably win it in 2002, but we lost Tom, and Uncle Damon was the backup to Brady there in New England. They go on to win the Super Bowl in the AFC Championship game, but that team had so much chemistry. That team enjoyed being around each other. That team had plane rides that everybody talked to everybody. You just did not have these little cliques. And I know when you and I started this, and not only were there no buff dudes, I'd be like, really? This is what these clubhouses look like? That there's that section, there's that section, there's that section, there's that. And some of it's culturally, and some of it's language, and some of it's some of the challenge, the global nature
And
of
by the way,
baseball.
I think you still see some of that on this team too. Like I mean, I'm not even a team with good chemistry still has that.
Yes.
It does. I mean, like I've seen it. Like I've seen teams with very good chemistry.
Sure, you get more comfortable with other guys and you're closer friends to other guys. But I think a George Kirby or a Logan or whatever could go sit in the hot tub with, say, Eugenio and Randy. And,
absolutely. Yes. I'm not saying that they can't do that. But I just want to
Yes.
I think that a lot of the Latin guys will still sit together and have their corner of the clubhouse.
100%.
And a lot, like there's still
100%.
You're going to find that in every clubhouse in America.
100%. And baseball is different in that regard because of so many different backgrounds.
The language
and again,
thing
the language
is just
barrier.
a big deal.
100%. But chemistry and amongst that group there and what that does for this team, chemistry and this pitching staff, it'd be very easy, Salk, you would think, from outside to go, oof, this must be kind of hard. 1 year he's an all-star, 1 year he's an all-star, 1 year he's an all-star. Wow, that's the old guy that's been around the block, and you don't feel any of that. You feel those guys genuinely and truly rooting each other on.
No, I think that's right. And I think in the case of those three guys in the outfield, not just rooting for each other, really bringing the best out of each other and holding each other accountable as young players. I mean, Robles all three of them are incredibly talented. Robles was a top prospect. Julio was a top prospect. Randy was always well thought of. I mean, like all three guys are multi-talented, really interesting, toolsy baseball players. Yep. But holding each other accountable and finding a way to bring the best out of each other, I think that's a really.
So does anybody say anything
that's a little
to Randy,
extra?
Anybody say anything to Randy last night with the 24th
It's funny. I wasn't
out he made?
I wasn't that bothered by that. Trying
you
to win
just
the
love
game.
You love Randy.
I do,
There's
and I'm willing
Randy
to live with some of the
can ever do.
aggressiveness.
Yes.
No, I thought the defense at the beginning of the game was horrendous. I mean, the reason that they scored their first 2 runs, that Randy totally misplayed that ball, and I didn't think that was very good at all. But he made back up for it by hitting a 3-run shot that was really kind of the moment in that game. The other guy, and we're running out of time here, but I'll just mention it quickly, is that you got to bring into this conversation is Naylor, just because of the intensity and what that does for this team.
He's a competitor, man. Like, he just go out there to do everything he can to like help us win the game, man. Something that I respect, like, from him a lot, and I'm really happy he's on our side and he's competing for us too. Like, he just brings it every day. You know what you're gonna get out of him, and he's a dog for real though.
He's a dog, and you could see Julio going crazy after the Naylor home run. So, look,
And you
go
know,
ahead.
we saw a little of the Naylor emotion.
We saw little.
He's not going to let that out with 50 games to go.
No.
He's not going to let it out with 40 games to go or 20 games to go. You come down the home stretch in a pennant chase to win this division, you're going to start to see some of playoff Naylor too.
I'm excited about that element of
fun
it.
last
I
night,
would say
yes.
so. Yeah, no, he's got a little something going on as well.